What's up, guys? So Path of Exile is a game that's known pretty notoriously for not being very beginner friendly. Most of the complaints I've heard is that there's really not any easily digestible new player content out there. So I wanted to come up with this guide series that's going to go over just the basic concepts to get you started all the way up into maps and crafting and that sort of thing. So, most of the guides that are out there, they can be anywhere from, 30 minutes to sometimes 2 hours long. And if you're a brand new player, you're not going to sit through that video. So the idea behind these guides is something that's quick, simple to the point that you can watch on your lunch break. Easy to understand, easy to digest, and we're going to cover topics. We're going to break them down topic by topic as you will come across them as a new player. So let's get started. Episode 1 will be getting started. Once you download the game, the first step is to decide what league you want to play. Standard League is the eternal realm. Your character will always live here and will never change barring patches to the game itself. If you're a very casual player, only going to play a couple hours a week, this might be the league for you. Ancestor League, which is the current league, is the seasonal realm which rotates every few months. This is the one I would recommend for new players if you're going to play a bit more than a couple times a week. Hardcore Ancestor is the hardcore variant of the seasonal realm, meaning if your character dies, you will go to the softcore standard mode. The different variants I would not recommend to new players. Solo Self-Found or SSF means there is no trade. If you want to force yourself to learn how to craft, since it's the only option and you enjoy more of a challenge, then you can pick this, but I wouldn't recommend it. Ruthless is another challenge mode where items are very scarce and there are some other constraints. I'll put a link in the description if you're interested in reading it, but I wouldn't recommend this to a new player because it's a significantly different experience than regular PoE. Once you decide what league you want to play on, now it's time to create your character. More experienced players will tell you to find a league mechanic or map mechanic that you want to do and then pick a build and character around this. While this is solid advice, if you're a brand new player, I would just pick a character that appeals to you thematically and or you like the appearance of. There are not really any bad classes, just bad builds. And even the bad builds can usually do at least one thing really well. So just play what you want in the beginning. You can always create a new character once you find out what content you enjoy and what you want to focus on. Once you have decided on a character, now it's time to find a build that you want to use. A good place to start would be Poe Vault. PoE Ninja is a better site for finding the strongest and best builds, but the site is not very new player friendly and it takes some getting used to. As a starting point, I would start with Poe Vault, and once you're a bit more familiar with the game, you can swap to using PoE Ninja. You can filter Poe Vault by the character class and ascendancy. Each character class has 3 ascendancies they can choose from starting at level 33. You're going to want to look for a build that with the tags low budget and or league starter. While you can use the website guide while you level, I would recommend downloading an application called Path of Building, which we will cover more in the quality of life upgrade section. PoE is not a game where you can just wing it as a new player as far as the talent tree and skills go. You might be able to get through the campaign like this, but if you plan on progressing your character past the campaign, you're going to have a rough time if you don't have a roadmap to follow. While PoE is a free-to-play game, there are a few quality of life upgrades that I would recommend new players purchase. Bare minimum, you're going to want a currency stash tab. You'll find it here by going to the microtransaction shop. PoE is not like other games where there is only one currency type that is exchanged for goods and services. There are hundreds of different currency types which can be overwhelming to keep track of in your stash if you don't have an easy way to organize it. This costs around 75 of the in-game currency and you can buy 100 for around $10. The next quality of life upgrade I would recommend would be premium stash tabs. This allows you to color coordinate your stash tabs. It also allows you to further organize your stash. You're going to want to store a lot of items in PoE, and having an easy and organized way to find them helps a lot. The next quality of life upgrade I would recommend is Path of Building. Path of Building is a third-party app that allows you to do a lot of things, and the bonus is that it's free to use. The guide you're using will have a POB link that you can copy and import into the program. All you do is go up here to the top, click Import Export Build, and you copy the URL or code that's provided for your build, and copy it into here, and it'll pull in all of the information that you need. You'll want to use this while you're leveling to find the strats, skill gems, and skill points that you want to use. It also allows you to test things that you might want to do with your build before you actually commit to doing it, whether that be changing items or changing skills. Make sure you check the bottom tab here, as they will usually provide different sections that will tell you which skill tree path to take for what levels. One of the more frustrating things as a new player is not knowing whether a piece of loot you picked up is worth something to sell or if it's just vendor trash. There's an application called Awakened Poe Trade that you can run in the background while you're playing that will solve this problem for you. All you need to do is, while you're in game, simply hold Control D over the item, and it'll pull up this window that's going to show you the base item's value, and you can also add the affixes here that may or may not change the price. One of the things you can do as well is, for whatever reason, if the item is not coming up, or if you see a bunch of prices that don't really make a whole lot of sense, you can click on this window here, which will take you to the trade site, and then you can do a manual search. This is a must-have. It is a very, very good tool, and it will allow you to accurately price your items and not clog up your inventory with a bunch of junk. The last quality of life upgrade I would recommend would be using a loot filter. Filter Blade is a really good one. In PoE, a lot of loot drops, and most of it you're not going to want to pick up. Filter Blade will filter out all the junk and only show you the items that you want to see. If you don't want to mess around with the individual items, you can use the preset filters that go from soft all the way to Uber plus strict. This will restrict the items that you will see, so you want to make sure that you're not putting it too strict in case you might be missing out on some items that you do need while you're leveling or progressing your character. So that's pretty much it. With these tools in place, you'll be set up for success, and you'll be able to have a smooth and easy leveling process, which will get you quicker to the end game, and that's when the game really starts and when fun starts to really happen. So if you found this guide helpful, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell to let you know when I upload new content. I stream on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, Friday at around 9 p.m. Eastern time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you have a great day/night.